Welcome back to another exciting conversation here on Effective Living. It's all YouTube for us, ladies and gentlemen. It's all YouTube. Now, here's what I need you to do. I need you to help me out, man. I'm trying to go places. I want to be somebody, okay? I want to take it to the next level. And one of the ways you can do that is if you enjoy these conversations, share it for me, man. Share it. Comment and let us know in the comment section. Hey, Ricardo, I've been enjoying these talks. And subscribe, okay? The YouTube algorithm thing, those things really work. But here's the deal. You're doing it for all of the, I ain't gonna call no names, okay, people? I ain't gonna call no names, but you're doing it for others, but you ain't doing it for me. And you know me. My heart is real, man. I need you. I need you to have my back, okay? I want to get a check from YouTube that makes me smile and tell my wife, let's go for dinner. Yeah, I want that next level YouTube subscription level money. Come on, somebody. Hi, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, and I'm having a great time because I'm just loving the fact that this is what we call effective living, doing what we enjoy doing every day. We actually push our clients to accept this thought, and that is, I'm creating a life I don't need to take a vacation from. Whoa. Listen, come on, I'm creating a life I don't need to take a vacation. Is it possible? Of course it's possible. Yes. The Bible says all things are possible to them that believe. Do you believe? I believe. And my co-host and I, she believes. And so here's the deal. If you're on your way to doing that, get yourself the book, man. Get this book like ASAP, okay? Order the book right now. It's actually revised. And it'll be coming out in Audible real soon, but you need to get your copy because here's the deal. Practical tips written in the book, if applied, will change your life forever. Okay? If you read this book and you said, Miller, I applied everything in this book for 6 months and my life didn't change, I'll give you your money back. Okay? But you got to prove to me, though, that you did at least 24 of the things that's in the book, because this book got about 100 things you need to do to take control of your life. If you did 24 of those things and nothing in your life changed, I'll give you your money back. Let 6 months of activating, a year of activating it into your life, and I promise you, it'll change your life forever. Tonight, we're talking with none other than my co-host, Coach Deborah D. Smith. What's up, lady?
Woohoo! I am happy and excited.
Listen, I'm so excited. Every time we get to do this talk, I mean, we raise the roof. We push the idea of taking control of one's life. You have Build Your Best Life. I have Effective Living. Together, we're telling people take it to the next level. How's everything there in Jacksonville?
Oh, everything is wonderful here. The weather is nice. Looking forward to all the Easter celebrations and everything, but it is beautiful, beautiful.
Nice. And so I know, listen, a lot of people think, sunny California, but then there's also, what's the slogan for Florida? I mean, it's
Sunshine State.
The Sunshine State. Come on, somebody, the Sunshine State. I love it. For a long time, I was considering moving to Florida because, it's so close to the Bahamas. And I'm a Caribbean boy, man. I love the islands. As a matter of fact, look what I'm drinking tonight, ladies and gentlemen. See, you know what that is? You know what that is?
Is it?
That's coconut water.
Coconut water, okay.
Come on now. Come on, that's some coconut water right there. Let me tell you. And it's nice and chill. Okay? It's nice and chill. Now, I was raised in the Bahamas. We can just go outside and get some coconuts out of the tree and get this thing fresh. I mean, fresh coconut water, no preservative or nothing. And so, but anyhow, I'm sticking close to my roots and I have some coconut water. There's no advertisement. Listen, if you all want to advertise with me next time, you all should be giving me some money. I'll talk about coconut water. I want the company, let me call the company name, and hook a brother up. All right? So, Coach Deborah, you wrote a book, Build Your Best Life. We meet a lot of people young people more specifically, parents with sons who fail to understand that really there are some things we have control over, and that's what we're talking about today. Let's highlight that in any aspect of taking control of one's life. The whole idea that will only happen when you start to commit to controlling what you could control, or paying attention to what you could control. What's your view of that?
I mean, that's right. You know, we a lot of times try to control those things that we have no control over instead of thinking about, hey, everything starts with me.
Yeah.
So who's the number one or the most important thing that I can control? And that's myself, and work it from there. So, you know, I think that that does a lot to living an effective life and building your best life when you separate those two. What are the things that I have control over, and what are the things that no matter what's behind my name or in front of my name, I can't change. I can't do anything with.
I know on your journey, ladies and gentlemen, to living life effectively, that's one of the things you have to do if you're going to create a life you don't need a vacation from. Somebody said, well, why aren't you so stressed out? Because what's going on, I have no control over. You know, what's going on, I have no control over. I have a good friend. He's a brother, actually. And, you know, in the Bahamas, anytime a hurricane is coming, he has his house boarded up, like how they suggest that you shut your house up with all of the shutters and everything. And he flies out. He flies out when they tell the tourists to leave. He flies out, you know, because he has the ability to control the dynamics as to savings to ensure that if this is an evacuated area, he has the resources to leave.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, hey, they suggesting leave. We're not waiting on the second bus.
Right. Hey, I'm out of here because I can control it.
Yeah,
I can't control that storm, but I can control what I do to prepare for that storm.
Most certainly. Most certainly. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you're watching us for the very first time, I'm Coach Ricardo Miller, and I'm joined with Coach Deborah Smith, and we're talking about things we can control. And the truth is, there are a lot of things we can't control. There's a lot of things. And so we're going to talk about a few of those things today. And as a matter of fact, the few things that we talk about today, when you take control of these things, they give you control of more things. Okay? When you take control of these few things. Now, if you haven't been taking control of these things, I can almost guarantee you're frustrated. You're mad. As a matter of fact, you may want to turn from this particular video on YouTube and go watch something else. But don't go watch no cat video when you can watch us, okay? Don't go, come on, don't go watch no cat videos and little pet videos when you could stay right here. As a matter of fact, do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Put on the notification bell and say, I want to hang out with these guys, because every Monday we do this. We do this every Monday now. We do it every Wednesday. And we do it every Friday right here on YouTube. Stay tuned, because I'm trying to get to that level where YouTube starts to acknowledge your boy and they send me a check every month. You know, man, listen, somebody's going to get a check. Why not me? Hey, Coach Deborah, somebody's going to get a check. Why not you, right?
That's right. Hey, the more the merrier.
The more the merrier. Let's dive into our talk. Things we can control. What comes to mind? What's the first thing on our list, Coach Deborah? You want to kick this talk off as to the first thing that comes to mind when we start looking at things we can control. Because remember now, ladies and gentlemen, there are some things we can't control. But tonight, we're going to be diving into things we could control. What is it that you would say, our first thing on our list, Coach Deborah?
Well, my first thing would be, you know, kind of yourself, as I mentioned earlier, because if you can't control yourself, you're in a lot of trouble. So you can control yourself, though. So that means whatever the situation, you can stop, take a breath, whatever it is that you need to do, and focus on what does my next step need to look like. So even, you know, if someone's pushing those buttons, you got a choice. You can control yourself. You can walk away. You know, we have so much that goes on all around the world with, you know, violence or whatever, but it's because no one wants to control themselves. We want to just react to that other person. But if we took the time to say, hey, it's not worth it, walk away, we would do a whole lot better. So First of all, starting with ourselves.
Starts with you. I like that one. I like it because a lot of times we go external first,
Mhm.
and this is within your reach right away. Right away. When we think about ourselves, we think about our lifestyle. Somebody said, you know what? I couldn't help myself. Yeah, you could have. Even you got that little hoopty of a car. Guess what? That's your lifestyle level of a car. You may not have the newest car, but it could be a clean car.
That's right.
Hey, you may not have the top brand car, but it could still be a car that's serviced. You may not be able to afford 4 brand new tires, but you can go to the best used tire spot to get the best used tire, because here's the deal. Where you are, you're committed to being the best as to who you are at that level. So my lifestyle level, you know what? I went to a number of countries in the last 20 years in doing ministry as an evangelist and a consultant. And one of the things I noticed is that poverty is everywhere. No matter where you go in the world, poverty is everywhere. Everywhere got a little poverty. Okay, it's hidden somewhere. You may not all see it. Some places hide it better than others, right?
That's right.
But poverty is everywhere. But here's the deal. Somebody who is taking responsibility for whatever level they find themselves in, the creme de la creme of even those of low income still rise to the top of, if I'm in a tent, it's a clean tent.
That's right.
If I'm in a 1-bedroom shack, what some people call a shack, when you walk inside there, that don't mean it's not an organized shack. That doesn't mean it's not clean. That doesn't mean, see, my lifestyle speaks to the fact that I may not have $1 million. I have $100. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be the best representation of living well at $100.
Right. And you do what you have to do to get where you want to go to. You can do better.
Yeah.
This was years ago, but my team from work, we were going to this, it wasn't a homeless shelter, but it was a place that they provided meals for homeless people or people of low income, and we were going to help out. So of course we had got there a little early, and sitting there waiting across the street, we could see, some cardboard boxes or whatever. Well, this lady got up, took this garment, straightened it out.
Yep.
She, went behind there, changed, made sure all her wrinkles were out, and then she left. And the light bulb came on. Now that lady is homeless.
Yep.
She straightened herself all up. She's probably going to work at some of these buildings, and people around her don't even know she's homeless.
Yeah.
She can't afford other things, but she is at least trying to get up off her feet, get up on her feet. So with what I have, I'm going to try to make sure as straight as it can be. I don't have an iron.
Yeah.
So you like you say, you do the best with what you have until you can do better.
Yep. And that is such a mentality, that the whole lifestyle, I'm responsible for my lifestyle. I'm responsible for my life. Even when life threw me a curveball unexpectedly or something I had no control over, right?
Right.
I'm gonna add to your story just now. There's a gym in my area that's $5 a month to go to the gym. It's a gym, $5 a month. Now here's the deal: if you go 10 times within a month, it's $5. But if you go less than 10 times, they charge you $20.
Okay.
So it's an encouragement to get people to go, within the month to come to the gym. Well, here's the deal. I was working out early in the morning. It's 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm working out every morning. And I saw this guy every morning. He would come in the gym every morning. But here's the deal. When he comes in the gym, he goes straight to the back to the shower, catches a nice shower, and he has a backpack on and everything. And one day I was talking to the person in the front desk. She said, that's a homeless guy. He lives in his car. I said, what? She said, he catches a shower here twice a day. He works out. And he goes to work, and I guess life has been challenging to him. But he made a commitment, I'm staying in my car, but I can still catch a fresh shower every day. And I tell people, you could decide to just work your way back to the place of prominence or greater levels of success, no matter where you find yourself at. we've heard of a lot of people like Steve Harvey, like what's his name, Tyler Perry, who all talked about living out of their cars.
Right.
Because obviously something didn't work out, but they still had ambition. They still wanted to live life to the fullest. I just think number one was real important, ladies and gentlemen. Your lifestyle or your life is what you have control over first. Even if it's a little that you have, showing that you've been faithful with little will set you up for so much more. Let's go to number two. Number two, I think this is another one that we pay very little attention to. And some people, Coach Deborah, would say this is not one that you have control over, but I disagree. And that is what you eat and how much you eat.
Oh, yes, we definitely have control over that. Definitely. Yeah, because well, some people, they have habits of how they were raised, and it's whatever's on your plate, eat it, don't throw anything away. So they, continue to follow that. But as you grow older and you get on your own, you come up with different habits or whatever. So, if you eat fast, then your brain doesn't have time to catch up with how fast you're eating. So you just keep stuffing yourself and you're really full. So you have to, learn, okay, I can't eat fast. I have to take my time, chew my food, and my brain will let me know when it's time to stop. So don't just keep eating. Don't keep eating.
You just called me out.
Oh, did I?
Hey, my wife, Karen will tell you, she'll like, I was like, Lord, look how much food you put on my plate. She said, you don't have to eat all of it, right? I said, no, I don't. My grandmama taught me, eat what's on your plate. Well, she said, eat until you eat enough until you feel full, and then leave the rest. Right. I'm like, I'm not conditioned that way. So I'm just telling you, Coach Deborah, whatever they put on my plate, I've been accustomed to eating. And now, like you just said, my wife has been trying to get me to understand you can control how much you intake. And I'm now having to learn that behavior. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have more control, just as they mentioned, as Coach Deborah mentioned, as my wife mentioned, I don't have to eat everything that's on my plate. So some people have to now learn you don't have to. Or, I love a good donut. I love me some chocolate chip cookies, some Oreo cookies. I love me a good blueberry muffin. Oh, right. My. Right? But here's the deal. I'm having to learn how to look at something and remind myself, as Apostle Paul says, all things are permissible to me, but not all things are beneficial. So he said, I will not be mastered by anything. So I'm learning to say no to the things that I'm like, ooh, if I can eat a whole box of Oreo cookies just sitting down there just by myself. And at this age, that'll start to show itself a little bit like how I don't want it to show, right?
Right.
And so a lot of people, Coach Deborah, they lean towards, I have no choice. Let's talk about that when it comes to food again. Come on. I mean, maybe immediately you don't, but over time you can wean your way out of, choosing fast food or what they call cheap food. What's your view there?
Right. Yeah, you have a choice, because it's like one of my friends, her grandchild was doing a fundraiser. So, of course, I was going to help out, and it was cookie dough.
Yeah.
So we bring it home, and as soon as we get it home, my husband makes us some fresh oatmeal raisin cookies. And, the first night I didn't ask any questions. I didn't look for calories. I got me a glass of milk, put it in the freezer so it could get good and cold. Got me two of those big cookies. I ate them and drank that milk. Oh, my goodness, they were so good. Then every day I tracked my calories and stuff. So when I sat down to do the calories, I was like, oh, my goodness. So now I let him bake the cookies. I look at them, I smell them, but I don't touch them. That doesn't go with my my frame of mind. I can't eat that many calories. So, you have to make up your mind. And I think I mentioned this to you before. Like what I'll do, because especially like when you go out, they give you so much food. Yeah. I actually take my food and I'll ask them, I say, when you bring my food, please bring me a to-go box. Wow. And I actually take and only leave on my plate what I think is a regular serving.
Yeah.
And
that's so good.
Box it up. So you have to make that choice, and then you learn. Because like with sugar, I often wondered why You know, if I give you a glass of the sweet tea that I make, it's Southern sweet tea.
Yeah.
And you may say, whoa, my goodness, this is too sweet. And my husband would say, oh, I love it.
Right.
But that's because sugar is addicting. So the more you put sugar you use, the more you want.
Wow. Wow.
It is actually addicting.
I know, because I tell my wife all the time, I said, man, that sweetener slash creamer kind of thing that she puts in her coffee.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, man, that you got more out of creamer than you have coffee. Because I'm like, whoa, this is more like sweet cream. This ain't no coffee. This is sweet cream. But you're right. You're right. And a lot of times we don't pay attention to it. We don't pay attention to the amount of things that we eat that they're actually building it to be addictive.
Right.
like the way that it is being cooked is being cooked. We, my wife and I and some friends went to a restaurant lately, high 5-star restaurant, very popular restaurant here in the Dallas area. And they told us when it was 6 of us at the table, Coach Deborah, 6 of us at the table. We were about to order dessert. And so I'm like, okay, I love a carrot cake. And I said, I want the carrot cake. And my wife was like, I love carrot cake too, but let me go for cheesecake. And the guy says, well, I just want y'all to know that the size of the portion of the carrot cake, it's enough for all 6 of y'all. And he's like, no. I'm like, hey, man, I know big portions. I've seen it be bigger than normal, but it can't be that much. Let's just go ahead. And my wife and I, we said, okay, we're not going to do no 1 carrot cake for the whole table. He can't be telling us the truth. So her and I will get 1. And when he brought the thing out, I think they just cut the cake in 4.
Wow.
Because I'm talking about the portion that they gave us. As a matter of fact, we had him brought a knife and then he slither off what I call the appropriate pieces. Mm-hmm. And he was right. That literally, you could have served 6 adults at a table with this 1 piece of cheesecake. I mean, this carrot cake. Now, my point in saying is, if you don't have no restraint and no discipline, and you love carrot cake, you will sit right down there and eat that thing by yourself.
Right.
And here's the deal. They have competitions on the wall of people who have eaten the whole thing. You ever been to one of those burger joints where they have, the 6 meat inside of it and they call it some super burger, and they're like, hey, if you can eat it, it's free. Let me tell you something, you're killing yourself. Okay? You're killing yourself to get a picture on the wall, right? So you're right. I love that principle. I've been thinking about it. I hadn't officially practiced it yet because hey, watch this. This is such a wrong statement, but I'm gonna say it. But I'm gonna say it because I'm trying to spice my numbers up on YouTube. I think me trying to get a to-go plate would not be manly. Hello, how about that? All right.
Hey, you always say, hey, I'm going to take this home to my dog.
Okay. I love that. Thank you for that. But psychologically, some people got to unlearn the behavior of even a take-home plate.
Right.
For a long time, a lot of people weren't taught to know that it's okay to say, package this to go. Right. Or, as you said, being comfortable enough, the portion is too significant, or for me to manage my intake like you're doing so well, please give me a to-go plate and then you split. Be it as it may, anybody can have their opinion, but you need to know who you are, or you could claim, you know what, I'm going to take half of this for my dog. And then there are people who are a little bit more confident. They're like, hey, man, I'm going to take half of this for dinner this evening because it's a lunchtime meeting that they're at. Or they're at dinner and they say, oh, I'm going to take half of this for lunch tomorrow. All of that speaks to you being okay with you.
Right.
Let's go to number 3. Number 3, your mental attitude. What do you think about that one and having control about that? Our attitude, mental attitude.
Your mental attitude, that's really, really important. And I put a lot of things into that bucket. So how you think. So having that positive mindset. that's going to impact your mental health as well. Loving yourself, having good self-worth, all those things. You want to stay positive in your life. You want positive people around you. So when you have all of these positive things, then
Yeah.
your mental attitude should be better.
Yeah.
You're not stressed. You're not
Yeah.
anxious.
Yeah.
So when you are, when a little something pops up, just don't start panicking,
Yeah.
and just lose it, have a meltdown or whatever. You're able to control your emotions better. You get stuck in traffic and you got to get to that doctor's appointment. Well, first of all, you need to leave with a little extra time in there. But you get caught in traffic. That's one of those things you can't control.
Mm. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, take a breath. What can you do? You can, recite some scriptures while you're waiting, whatever. You can make a call to that doctor's office stuck in traffic. I'm trying to get there on time. I may be a few minutes late, but I am on my way. But you can't do anything about it. So when you begin to, just panic and think negatively, that's why some people have heart attacks because they're not eating right, first of all.
Yeah.
And then the least little thing that happens, the traffic's bad. You can't get where you need to get. You need to pick up your child. Somebody call and say, well, this one just fell. And you immediately go to the worst. Okay, they fell. You didn't even give them time to tell you they fell, but they're okay. We just got to go get them checked out. It doesn't seem like anything's broken or anything, but you just completely panic. So you have to do those things like prayer, meditation, whatever, to keep your mind focused.
Yeah.
Always try to be on that positive side so you don't just always just lose it and you're always just anxious, because it can shift to mental health very, very quickly.
Yeah. I agree with you so much. In addition, I want to say, if you have a bad attitude, that can change.
Yes.
It really can. You said, well, you know what? My mama had a bad attitude. My sisters, my siblings, we've all, where I grew up, it was just a cultural thing. It was a neighborhood thing. Guess what? You can change that.
You can change it.
You can change that. You just got to decide, I don't want to live like that. Because here's the deal. Negative attitude people oftentimes don't elevate to the highest level of their potential. Your negative attitude, your stinking thinking, your toxic belief and behavior about how you show up will cause you to not enter rooms. It will cause people to not give you opportunities. It will cause you'll find yourself dealing with less people in the world when the world is filled with incredible people, but because you have such a toxic way that flows out of you in that of your attitude, people just don't want to do life with you. And so you can change that. You can decide, okay, how do I change my attitude? The Bible says, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things. Start learning to think positive. Ooh. And I know that's a struggle for some people because, there are some people, Coach Deborah, they have been conditioned for the glass half empty mindset. Oh, man. The glass half empty. I mean, come on. Hey, watch this. Hey, man, I'm so needing a ride, Coach Deborah, but I'm so needing a ride. And there's, my daughter says she's going to come and take me. Oh, she's here now. And then, guess what, Coach? She picked me up, but that car was so dirty. Oh, the car was so dirty. And I can't believe, when I got there, I'm telling you, I don't need her to be taking me anywhere else. Hold on. Initially, you was praying for a ride.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
All right.
Hey, watch it. You came from a small town. Oh, this small town. Nothing's happening in this town. Nothing. Oh, my God. I'm just hating this little town. I hate little towns. And then you move to a metropolitan area. Oh, the traffic is killing me. Oh, Lord. It's just too much noise. It's just too much movement. I came from a small town. Well, you were complaining in the small town, and now you're in a big metropolitan area, and you complain. Oh, the mall, you can barely seldomly find parking space. And, it used to take me 5 minutes to get to the local Walmart, but in this town, it takes me 25 minutes. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. It's all attitude, and you can change that.
Yes.
You can change that. Let's go to number 4. This is a unique one. And I wanted to add this because a lot of people don't realize how much it plays a role in the development of ourselves, and that is when you go to sleep. You know, we talk about effective living and the role sleep plays within it. Rest is important. And here's the deal. Some people go to sleep early. Some people go to sleep late. But be it as it may, you got to remind yourself, I need sleep. Some people catch power naps. Some people say, hey, listen, man, I'll sleep late in the morning. I got those curtains that actually what they call shut out the sun. I won't know I won't know what day it is if I don't open. What's your view about the whole control factor about the amount of sleep you put in?
Well, you have to get sleep and you have to rest. And like you say, it doesn't matter because if you have a set pattern, whether it's, to bed early and rise early or go to bed, stay up late and get up a little later, if you do that consistently, your body is going to come into, be used to that, and your body will just wake you up at those certain times and you'll be ready to go to bed. It's like, okay, y'all, I feel real short. I appreciate y'all coming over, but I have to be in bed by 8:30.
Yeah.
Because I have like family members, they go to bed like early, I go to bed later. But it doesn't matter, but you do have to get the sleep and the rest because it can make I'm talking about your mental attitude.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that it can impact, because if you say you go to sleep and you got to get up, but you just wait till the night before you're going out of town. So you wait till the night before and you pack it and whatever. And by the time you hit the bed, you only have like an hour and a half to sleep. You got to get up. You're so grouchy. The least little thing your partner says to you, you're biting their head off or whatever. That's because you are just about to lose it because you have not allowed your body to rest. Your mind needs to rest so it can be sharp and focused. And your body needs rest as well. You got your heart in there moving, circulating the blood. And all the organs have a job and they work together. If you don't get that rest, and I don't care what age you are, it impacts everything. This used to be this old thing they had years ago about, if one thing in your body shuts down, how it shuts down everything else. And that's kind of true. So you want to be fresh and alert. You want your mind to be focused. So you have to get rest. These teenagers, they think, oh, I don't need rest. I can stay up and play video games and then I can cram and study and go to school and I'm fine. No, you actually need as much rest as you did when you were a little tot. You need 9 to 10 hours like teenagers do. And a lot of them are not getting it. So your sleep is very important.
Wow. Sleep is so important, ladies and gentlemen. In addition to sleep, here's another one, guys. This is something you have control over. How intense and the frequency of your exercise regimen. How intense you exercise, how frequent you exercise. You have control over that. Somebody says, well, I don't have time. Listen, when you get up out of bed, you could do some jumping jacks. Okay, you can decide in the morning that you're going to do a walk around the park or walk the block. I have neighbors every evening. You see them doing their little walk. They're doing their walk or maybe talking with someone on the phone, but you get that exercising because your body is the vehicle God is going to use to fulfill your assignment. What's your view on the frequency and the intensity and us having control over that?
Okay, we completely have control. So whether we do it or we don't is up to us. But our bodies do need the exercise. It impacts lots of different things. It impacts your joints, and as you mature in age, it impacts things more and more and more. So, like I know I need to exercise more. For all the work that I do several different things, working with children's ministry, working part-time, doing my platform, all those things. It takes time. So I sit most of the time, and I was like, I sit too much. So I've got me a, what do you call it? The
standing desk, the table.
I got the adjustment for that. So I had put that on my existing desk. So now I stand, but I still need to get outside and walk because they said with that joint health, that can impact other parts of your body as well, because your heart needs to have that steady rhythm. Even, if you got a smartwatch, it'll tell you, stand up, you've been sitting too long.
and then it celebrates you for having done it. It says, cheer on, you did it.
Yeah.
You did it. When it comes to exercising, one of the things is exercising and taking care of, your health. It's all a long game. It's all for the long haul. It's like servicing your car, because if you knew that you wanted your car for 10 years, you're going to get them oil change on time, them spark plugs change on time, tires rotates and all that stuff, brake shoes change, because you want this thing to last for the long haul. My wife and I, we've been practicing doing our walks in the evening. Here's the deal. The walk is good for the body. The walk together is good for the relationship.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
That's that effective living.
Come on, man. Come on. Now, here's the deal. I have some neighbors, and I noticed a husband and wife, they're retired, and they walk every morning. I see them every morning. I think at least Monday to Friday, they walk every morning. And I was telling my wife, I said, man, that is so healthy. Now, they were retired. I said, we're not retired, but I was like, hey, you don't have to wait until to start practicing behaviors that you see that's healthy, that's good. Well, when I get retired, me and my spouse is going to do this. No, you can start doing that in small ways now. Okay, you can start doing it. And so I'm a big believer. One, I'm not the most intense when it comes to working out. That's what my wife is working on me with. Okay, she's like, hey, get on that treadmill and go faster. She's like, you're not even sweating. You haven't sweat 3 times and been to the gym the last couple of times. You need to sweat, right? And I'm like, I know. Right? I'm like, but I still walk 5 miles. Right? I still walk 5 miles, but she is right. The intensity matters when it comes to exercising. Why? Because the heartbeat and the sweat, all of that factors work into a healthier you.
All right. Yep.
Let's go to the next one. Number 6, who you allow to influence you. We're talking, ladies and gentlemen, today I'm joined with Coach Deborah Smith and myself. We're diving into things we can control. And we've talked about a number of them already. And if you're joining us for the first time, please put on that notification bell so you can watch this in the future. Subscribe to this channel. But here's the deal. There are some things you have control over. And our number 6 is who you allow to influence you. How important is this? And I know for those you help, Coach Deborah, and your whole platform, this is a big subject right here.
It's a big subject. And I'm really talking about it this month, like birds of a feather. You have to be careful about all those things. But, it's just so easy for people to, especially when they start to covet what they see around them. Every year they get a new car. They adding or something back there behind their house. You wonder where they get all that money from to do that. Yeah. And so you began to I think I want to be friends with them. I'm going to go over and introduce myself or whatever. So you go over there and you introduce yourself because you aspire to be like these people because you want what these people have. Yep. And so you start, getting kind of friendly. You talk. Oh, yeah, I know. And you tell them where you work or what you do. You're retired. And they begin to talk. And the more you get to know them, when we file our taxes, I got a sister and she got some kids and she disabled. So I claim her kids and blah, 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 blah. And you find out they're doing all these things that are not legal and are not of God.
Yeah.
But that's who you want to be friends with because you like what they have.
Yeah.
You should have your own self-worth. What do you got? What are your guiding principles?
Yeah.
Do you have ethics? Do you care about your name? Then that's a big one.
Yeah, it
reputation, you don't like that. So
Yeah.
what do you care about? Those are the people that you need around you because, believe it or not, if you can be the most positive person in the world, but of your 8 best friends, 7 of them are negative, and they always talking negative. They're always talking about somebody. They never, doing anything positive. You're going to find yourself going this way. You don't want to do that. You want to stay here and go this way. Wow. So who you have in your circle really influences you. You have to be very careful of the friends that you choose, how you choose your friends, when they no longer are of value to you and you're not of value to them because it's a two-way street. You need to make some decisions.
Wow. And that's critical. In my 25 plus years of working with young people, every single time, and this is a very strong statement, every single time a good kid, a good young adult, a good person got in trouble, it was always attached to the fact that a connection, a bad connection. You know, it's like they met a new friend at school, they met a new friend at work, they met a new friend at college, they met a new friend in the neighborhood. And I'm talking about these are people you just never saw this level of problematic behavior from them. And then you hear that they had a problem. They got in a fight, and now they're being charged with attempted murder. You're like, not that young man. Look who else was with that young man. Oh, not that girl. Look who was with that girl. Not, you know, and so you're so right. A lot of people don't realize the people around us are influencing us. They're influencing us. Even if you don't want to acknowledge it, they're influencing us. Even if watch this, they may not be creating your thoughts. They may just simply be feeding your thoughts. So there are some people, Coach Deborah, they're like, you know what? Nobody tells me what to do. No, I ain't telling you what to do, but what I'm doing is I'm feeding the negative that you are already telling yourself.
All right.
So you know what? And so if your circle is feeding your toxic side, that toxic side in you will grow more. If your circle is all good, but you have a toxic side, you can find yourself being positively being influenced by your circle to where you say, you know, I used to be very quick to fight, but since I started hanging with these three guys, my reasoning, understanding, and temperament has adjusted.
That's right. Yeah.
Go ahead.
I just say it makes a lot, you know, a huge difference. Like we were saying earlier about, you know, how you act. And you know what? That's what my mom used to do. That's what my grandmother used to do.
Yeah.
You know, they would cuss people out from A to Z. They didn't care what they said out their mouth. If you don't like it, that's just too bad. They didn't care about people's feelings. And so that's what I grew up around. So I would tell people off as well. But when I began to hang around at 16, I joined church by myself and not with my family. I just joined church. But as I started being around other people and changed my mindset, and I'm like, okay, don't take all that. You can just be nice to people and they'll be nice to you. You know, you don't have to, you know, fuss somebody out to get what you want. Just tell them, you know, this is my issue. Can you help me?
Yep. You know, Coach Deborah, I found myself, I remember when I used to hang around people who, when we went out for dinner, their whole entry level was a negative one. And it became me too. It's like, it's like you land in a city to meet somebody and they say, oh man, let me tell you something. These parts, and they go negative, or they go, hey, listen, they go problematic. And it goes back to that attitude point. But that attitude point also plays into who you hang with. And so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, you have more control over who you allow to influence you. So some people have been influencing you. You haven't been paying attention to it. And it's not only those who are in your immediate circle, because some people say, well, I don't hang with anybody. But guess what? You've been watching everything on TV of this particular person. And in movies, that particular person plays this particular role. In other words, if your number one actor is a ghetto actor, or your number one actor in movies is a thug, guess what? You're going to start leaning towards thug-like behavior because that actor is influencing you. If the person you listen to music to is that, if the behavior of that person is coming through their music and through the service they're bringing to humanity, and if that's who you're listening to, they're influencing you. So you have to pay attention to it. Let's go to the last one as we get ready to close our talk out this evening. This one right here, guys. If you agree with any of our points, please leave a comment in the comments. If you disagree, I'm interested. You be like, hey man, I don't agree. Well, let's talk about it in the comment section. I wanna talk with you. I'll talk back to you. And then here's the deal. What else did you notice that we did not mention that may need to be added that we have control over. But this last one I want us to talk about, Coach Deborah, and that is how much money you save. How much money you have control over how much money you save. Now, here's the deal. I added this one because I thought it was necessary, but a lot of people, when they think saving, they think abundance. But abundance has nothing to do with savings. You can get abundance with savings, but you don't have to have abundance to start saving. See, that's the mindset. Mm-hmm. Somebody that I can't afford to save. You can't afford not to save. It's deciding if I get $1, I want to put 10 cents away. If I get $10 in a certain period of time, I would have $1 put away if I kept putting away 10 cents. No matter how little it is, it's making a commitment to save. What's your whole view on this? I have to decide to save. That's an option I have, no matter how much. I may have to, watch this, live small, sleep small, eat small, dress small, and pull back until I can afford more, but savings is under my control.
All right. Saving is, that to me, that's something that's really essential. Did I do it my entire life? No, I did not. But I do it now, and I just think that that's something that everyone should learn how to do. If you need a financial coach, or you just need to ask somebody some tips, you need to do that. I can think of a story I read about a couple, and they had their first child. And so they didn't have a lot, but the dad decided that all the change that he had, they would come into contact with, because some people actually throw change away.
Right. Yeah.
But that's a different story. But they would take that and put it in a jar, and ever so often they would put it in the bank, and that's what they used to send that child to college.
Wow.
Change.
Wow.
So every little bit counts.
Yeah.
And if you are on a budget, everybody should be. You may or may not be, but whether you are or not, but you are able to pay your bills, and you're comfortable. So you got more money than you have bills. Say you pay off one of those bills, you may have a car. You don't have to run out and get another car.
Right. Yep.
Take that car payment and start saving it.
Yep. So good. Coach Deborah, as we finish this talk, I'm thinking when it comes to saving, somebody said, well, I'm not making enough. What I've come to understand, I've lived long enough to realize someone is making the same amount of money that you're making and is saving and managing their life accordingly with the same income. As a matter of fact, they're ahead of you because they have figured out a principle you are choosing not to manage or incorporate in your life. Here's what I found. That all of us are accessible. All of us have access to somebody who are in our position, but they're doing better than us. And they're stone's throw away from us calling them. They're that close to us. And watch this. You got 3 girls, and you work at the same grocery store that I work at. And your girls are in cheerleading, your girls are in track, and they're doing tutoring on Saturday. And your apartment looks so good. How are you doing it, girl? That's called a question.
All right.
Pick the brains. I got 3 girls, you got 3 girls. I got 2 boys, you got 2 boys. We work in the same store. You work at that register, I work at this register. How come you buy a new car? I know I'm single, you're single. What you doing? Right? I'm telling you, it's just amazing. But here's the person will tell you, here's what the person said. Well, I started selling used books on the internet. Oh, I ain't got no time to sell. They say I go to the thrift store, I go in there and I look for good books in good condition. And then I upload them online. I bought the book for 25 cents, but online I could sell them for $11. That's good business right there. That's some good business right there. And the person that's paying shipping for $1.50, that's good business. Another person says, you know what? Yeah, I work at the register with you here, but when I get off from here, I go check up on my girls. I'm friends with my neighbors. Oh, I don't talk to my neighbors. See, you're going to need a community. You're going to need somebody to help you. I'm friends with my neighbors. It's a husband and wife couple that's really good people. And I tell them, pay attention to my 2 girls next door. But here's the deal. I got a second job.
Yep.
But be it as it may, you can manage your life to get you to where you need to go. But what you have to do is look around you. Who's around me that's doing well financially with the same cards that I've been dealt? Ooh. And then here's the deal. You got to remind yourself, success leaves clues. What did they discover that I haven't discovered or I haven't accepted to get me to where I need to go? Last but not least, Coach Deborah, what's your view on these whole concept of things you can control?
Well, as we went through this list, and there are more, these are things that you can control. Manage your life more effectively by doing those things that you can control. Stop worrying about what you can't control. You can't change the weather. God's got that. He got it. You can complain. He got that.
Yeah.
So just work on those things that you can control. When you need to ask questions, ask questions. If you need that community, that assistance, ask. Coach always says there's someone out there who has been assigned to assist you. But you got to ask. You can't be stuck up and think you're better than everybody else. Hey, we all need people.
Yep. You have a book, and there are parents watching. They haven't bought your book yet. They've seen you on our platform. They've seen you here. Tell them how they can order your book. Because here's the deal, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, there are some things you can control. And if you have a son, you need to know that what is it that I need to learn to help him to know he can control? Or what is it that I need to give him this book? Get the book so you can give it to your son. Get the book so you can have it so you can understand what you need. Talk to us about your book and why people need to go get it and then where they can get it.
Okay, the book is Build Your Best Life, and it is basic principles to assist in overcoming obstacles to build your best life. So no matter what has gone on with your child or with you as a mother with us trying to raise that son, you can overcome those things, but you have to know what to do, and you have to embrace those people that are equipped to help you. And I'm here to help you. This book will help you. So getting these basic principles and learning those things, some of them we talked about today, saving, knowing your name is important. You are important. You have to love yourself, your credibility. All those things are important for our young men. We want our young men to embrace who they are, their purpose in life, so that they can be the right husband for someone's daughter, and they can be there for themselves and for our future. We need our young men. So you can go to my website, www.buildyourbestlife.org. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org. Order your book. I have them in stock, and you will get your autographed copy right away. If you prefer the Kindle version, Amazon.com. But get this book today. It will assist you and your village.
Excellent. You know what I love about Coach Deborah and her book? Let me tell you something. She got that book. I'm going to tell you, she got all the pages marked up in that Bible. I'm going to do that in this next read because I'm reading my book again for the month of April. And I'm realizing it is so loaded. And a lot of times, Coach Deborah, we get your book, we start reading it, and we read it just out of a custom, just out of tradition-like sense. Oh, I'm so glad I read Coach Deborah. But that's not the purpose of reading, because it's a manual. It's a guide.
Yeah.
It's a tool. You don't read just to be impressed by how she put content together. You say, read, oh, I didn't know. Let me tell this to my grandson. Oh, I didn't know. Let me tell this to my daughter who has 3 sons. Oh, I didn't know. When I talk to my nephew now, I now know. So don't get caught up in the whole idea of just simply saying, I read another book. Use the book for transformation. Listen, closing remarks. What do you got to say? I know I get the opportunity each month to join the conversation with the guys on Build Your Best Life. Tell our viewing audience about some of your live broadcasts. A lot of people, we're losing a lot of young men, Coach Deborah. I mean, listen,
Yes.
the prisons are overloaded with young men. There are a lot of beautiful, young, incredible single women out there. They're doing well with getting their education. starting their careers. I mean, house buying, man. There are more single women buying homes than ever before.
Yes.
And you know, and a lot of guys are becoming intimidated by these strong, powerful, amazing, well-accomplished women. And so tell our viewing audience how they can find your platform and how you have made it a mission to help young men out.
Yes, if you visit my website, which again is www.buildyourbestlife.org, on the homepage, you can go to my media sites, which is on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. But it is just my passion and my purpose to assist young men in becoming who they need to be in the earth. And I have educators, parents, coaches, pastors to come on my platform each week to give our young men information that they need. Basic life skills is one of the major things that they're missing: biblical skills and basic life skills. And so I have all these people that have the expertise on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. On second Saturdays, we have conversation with the guys and those moms. Sometimes single moms, you get timid about certain conversations to have with your sons. Hey, you got to tune in. Second Saturdays, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to get the perspective of our four men. And they tell it like it is to our young men, and they need this information. And we just have fun, but we are telling candid information that our young men need. So please, please, please find me on social media. That's www.buildyourbestlife.org, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. I post 3 times daily during the week with inspirational information for young men. And so again, it's my passion. I love assisting our young men in anything or anyone that I can have on my broadcast to assist them. We're there to assist. So y'all we're reaching out this year. So y'all gotta join us halfway and get your sons involved. Thank you so much, Coach.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another great conversation here on Effective Living. Remember now, there are some things you have control over. Those are the things you need to get better control over. If you want to live life effectively, do what you can do with what you have, and learn to just let go and let God. Have a great night, everyone. Don't forget, subscribe to the channel and share it with somebody. Somebody needs to know. They don't need to try to do everything. They just need to learn how to manage what they have control over. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you again, Coach Deborah.
You're welcome. Good night, everyone.
Good night.